the headlines of this hour on VTV News. 11th Congress of Vietnam Students Association recognizes students with 5 merits. And real estate market to recover sustainably. And in our world news, rescue efforts ramp up as earthquake claims at least 110 lives.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huynh Tân with the top stories. On Tuesday in Hanoi, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng attended and spoke at the 32nd Diplomatic Conference. The event was attended by party and state leaders, delegates, heads of Vietnamese representative agency abroad, and key officials of units within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
With the theme, promoting the pioneering role, building a comprehensive, modern, and strong diplomacy, and successfully implementing the resolution of the 13th Party Congress, the 32nd Diplomatic Conference serves as an opportunity to reflect on the progress made in implementing the resolution of the 13th Party Congress regarding foreign affairs. It also aims to discuss measures for carrying out future diplomatic tasks and to summarize the achievements obtained in the 40 years of implementing the reform policy in order to prepare documents for the 14th Party Congress. With its unique approach to diplomacy, characterized by the spirit of Vietnamese bamboo, the foreign affairs sector has achieved significant and historic results over the past 3 years. These achievements have become a highlight among Vietnam's overall accomplishments.
These results are achieved thanks not only to the foreign affairs officers in general and diplomats in particular, who possess enthusiasm, responsibility, and high professional qualifications, but also to their loyalty to the party and country. They have served the country with a burning passion and the highest priority. On behalf of the party and state leaders, I would like to acknowledge, congratulate, and thank the great and very meaningful contributions of all workers in the foreign affairs sector.
Among the many tasks assigned to the foreign service sectors in the near future, one important task is to consistently uphold principles while remaining adaptable in strategy. These principles include national independence and socialism. The strategy involves being mobile and flexible in order to adapt to various situations. By doing so, the foreign service sectors aim to contribute to maintaining a peaceful and stable environment, as well as creating the most favorable opportunities and conditions for the country's development.
The 11th National Congress of the Vietnamese Students Association was held in Hanoi on Thursday morning. State President Võ Văn Thưởng attended the Congress, and Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng sent a congratulatory flower basket. Over the past 5 years, the Vietnamese Students Association has made significant improvements in both quality and quantity. Its ministries have implemented the major orientations of the party and the union, organizing various activities that meet the needs and aspirations of students. During this term, nearly 300,000 students have been recognized with the title of Student with 5 Merits, and nearly 20,000 students have become honored Party Central members. State President Võ Văn Thưởng emphasized the patriotism of students from all generations and their desire to contribute to the country's development. He also called on student associations to encourage and guide students to approach their studies with mindfulness and awareness, enabling them to contribute to nation building and the happiness of the Vietnamese people. As of November 30th, 2023, the total outstanding credit debt in Ho Chi Minh City reached nearly $140 million, representing a 1.3% increase compared to the previous month. This marks one of the highest credit growth rates recorded this year. The primary driver behind this higher credit growth in November is the rising demand for capital towards the end of the year and the Tet holiday. People require more capital to produce and distribute essential goods to meet a growing consumer demand. Additionally, there is a high demand for shopping, tourism, and services. The 2023 Market Stabilization Loan Program has already provided over $533 million to 24 businesses. With low lending rates ranging from 4% to 6% per year, the program has directly contributed to helping businesses reduce costs and stabilize the selling prices of essential goods. Consequently, consumers have better access to year-end goods, and the program's objective is effectively promoted. The World Bank recommends that Vietnam consider extending the economic support program for 2022 and 2023 into the following year. This extension would ensure the full implementation of planned investments, thereby enhancing the program's effectiveness and supporting macroeconomic stability. The recommendation is specified in the Vietnam Macro Monitoring Report released by the World Bank on Monday. The report highlights several positive aspects of Vietnam's economy, including an increase in foreign direct investment and a stable consumer price index of 3.5%. Furthermore, industrial production and trade continue to show improvement. Although credit grew slightly in November to 10.3%, it remains below the target set by the State Bank. The report suggests that weak investor confidence partially attributed to the sluggish real estate market and is the reason for this shortfall. The Prime Minister has issued a dispatch urging localities to implement effectively solutions to promote the safe, transparent, and sustainable development of the real estate market. These measures are expected to expedite the recovery process of the real estate market, particularly as investors restructure and rebalance their focus towards developing housing segments with genuine demand.
There has been a recent surge in demand for residential apartments in big cities. However, only a limited number of qualified properties are being sold. In the past, people were primarily interested in inner-city apartments, but now properties in the suburbs are also selling out despite insufficient supply.
The suburban area of Long Bien has many amenities. It is also developing strongly and doesn't lack anything major. I would say that it is more convenient than the inner city since there are fewer crowds.
According to the Ministry of Construction's report, despite the recent lack of activity in the real estate market, demand for apartments in the fourth quarter increased by over 6% compared to the same period last year. This indicates a genuine need for housing purchases.
The current real estate market is also showing signs of improvement because bank interest rates have also dropped to a relatively low level. However, around the Hanoi area, there are almost no new projects, and the ones currently being sold have very high prices. As a result, investors are hesitant to purchase, and only a small number of transactions are recorded.
Businesses must estimate the recovery period for the market so that they can calculate which segment of housing is in high demand, especially now that the real estate market is relatively gloomy.
In large cities, the demand for housing increases by approximately 70 million square meters each year. As a result, there is a need to expedite the restructuring of the real estate sector in order to meet actual housing needs. In addition to the government's efforts to find solutions, the recent passing of the Housing Law and Real Estate Business Law by the National Assembly also plays a significant role. This provides investors with specific guidelines to promote housing products that currently have genuine demand.
The Central Region is prioritizing the development of the economy through forest protection services. In Quảng Nam Province, which is home to the second largest natural forest area, local forest protection forces are now receive increased compensation. Their role is not only to preserve the natural forest, but also to assist local communities in cultivating medicinal herbs in designated national park zone and conservation areas. Thanks to these initiatives, the local population no longer poses a threat to the forest.
The primeval forests in Dong Giang, Tây Giang, and Nam Giang districts of Quảng Nam Province have been assigned to the community for protection. Every day, groups of households take turns patrolling the area, just like this group of Cơ Tu ethnic people are doing now. They have been assigned to protect nearly 1,000 hectares of the Sao La conservation area. Recently, their pay has increased by 1.5 times helping them expand production and contribute to reducing poverty in the area.
We can now earn money by protecting forests. Each household even gets a quarterly bonus, according to the plan.
Quảng Nam currently has over 500,000 hectares of natural forest, covering 60% of the province. In 2021, the Prime Minister approved a pilot project for Quảng Nam province to sell forest carbon credits. By trading these credits on the global market, Quảng Nam can earn $8.2 million annually for forest protection.
The government and the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development have already issued the scheme for the sale of carbon credits. Once implemented, the money earned will contribute greatly to forest protection as well as improving the people's livelihoods.
Thanks to the effective forest protection efforts, revenue from forest environmental services has increased. The annual revenue generated from this forest over the past 3 years has reached $8.2 million.
We will continue to research and introduce several support policies within our authority. We have also made recommendations to the central level on how to preserve forests and help people become prosperous through forests for long-term stability.
Quảng Nam province considers the forest resources of 9 mountainous districts as an advantage for growing medicinal herbs, including Ngọc Linh ginseng under the forest canopy. More than 1,500 households of Sedang and Kazang people have planted nearly 2,000 hectares of this precious plant. With this forest advantage, Quảng Nam is positioning itself to become the medicinal center of the country.
Now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, December 19th. Coming up next on VTV News. South Korea to employ more Vietnamese technical workers. And Hanoi celebrates creativity rooted in history. Moving on to other news. The Vietnamese and Indian military forces conducted a joint exercise on integrated peacekeeping scenarios on Monday at the National Military Training Center 4. The simulated situation include tasks such as building barracks while dispersing protesting crowds and performing air medical transport procedures for injured United Nations staff. The Vietnamese and Indian military forces collaborated closely and accurately assessed the ground situation. They calmly persuaded the protesters while taking decisive action to disperse the riot. This activity is part of the bilateral exercises between Vietnam and India for United Nations peacekeeping in 2023. The Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs has proposed that Japan expand the sectors that can employ Vietnamese workers under Japan's specific skilled workers program. These sectors include restaurants, hotels, bus services, maintenance in the urban railway and high-speed train sectors, construction, underground sewage treatment, and the urban environment. Furthermore, the Japanese side is also requested to continue improving the working and living conditions, as well as ensuring a stable income for Vietnamese interns and workers, similar to Japanese workers at the same level. Additionally, it is suggested that any units that fail to properly implement internship plans, which may affect the rights of interns and workers, be strictly dealt with. The Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs has set a goal of developing a skilled workforce for international employers. South Korea, with its E7 visa, is one of the high-income markets that aims to recruit more eligible Vietnamese workers, particularly those with technical skills.
Out of the 2,300 foreign workers employed by Hyundai Maipo, nearly 800 are Vietnamese. These workers have come to South Korea under the E7 working visa, which is designed for highly qualified and experienced individuals. After undergoing proper training, these workers can start their job within just 3 days. They receive an average monthly salary of $2,000 to $2,400 USD for their work at the Hyundai shipbuilding factory.
I have received professional training in DAP painting. The salary level is good, as it is determined by the Ministry of Employment and Labor. I also work overtime when it is required.
I was generally happy with my job here. I intend to keep working for a shipbuilding company when I return to Vietnam.
Hyundai Maipo has revealed that its factories are currently understaffed, particularly in technical departments. As a result, the company is prepared to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Overseas Labor Management Department and the Ministry of Labor, Invalids, and Social Affairs to enhance worker skills. The training outcomes will enable workers to qualify for various positions in South Korea's shipbuilding industry.
We have always valued the craftsmanship, commitment, and work ethics of Vietnamese workers. We are committed to improving workers' compensation and quality of life, as well as ensuring safe working conditions for them.
Currently, out of the 10,000 Vietnamese workers going to Korea each year, only 700 are technical workers. In response, the Ministry of Labor, Invalids, and Social Affairs has requested the South Korean Ministry of Employment and Labor expand its current recruitment pool for foreign employees. As a result, it is expected that more unskilled workers and technical workers will enter the country in 2024.
Quang Binh Province has recently reopened and discovered several new caves. These include Tiên Sơn, Va, and Nước Nít caves. Tiên Sơn Cave, which underwent a long period of renovation and repair, is set to resume operation on Thursday, December 21st. The cave has been upgraded and renovated walkways and stops. The local authorities have also invested in a new mirror bridge, which allows visitors to enjoy views of the Phom Nha countryside from a height of over 100 meters. Additionally, Quang Binh will be opening up 2 new caves, Va and Nước Nít Cave. Hang Va stretches 1.7 kilometers in length and connects to Nước Nít Cave. The main attractions of these interconnected caves are the underground lakes and thousands of unique stalactites. A mini bar on a motorbike. That was the main tool for a motorbiking trip across Vietnam of a young bartender from Ho Chi Minh City. Using local ingredients to innovate cocktails, he hopes to spread his love for the art of mixing drinks. Let's join on this exciting journey in the following report.
Sugar cane wine, mint, lemongrass, lime juice and brown sugar. Those are the ingredients for a special cocktail prepared right next to Mat Than, or Eye of God, mountain, a unique mountain in Cao Bang Mountainous Province.
Here in Phu Khoa district, they produce a lot of sugar, and there is a specialty called Phu Khoa cane sugar. During the production of sugar cane, people here use the remaining ingredients to make wine. It is Phu Khoa sugarcane wine. I want to use those 2 ingredients to make a cocktail right in Cao Bang, right here at the Eye of God mountain.
The customers of this mini bar today are tourists from Switzerland who happened to pass by while Quang was mixing a new drink.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You should come to Switzerland. Book here for my bar.
Okay, thank you.
You would be an attraction there.
In October, departing from Ho Chi Minh City, Quang and his wife began their journey across Vietnam on a motorbike. They traveled to the Mekong River Delta, then up to the Central Highlands, and then rode along the central region to the north looking for local ingredients to make cocktails.
The feeling of standing right there and enjoying the local ingredients is really amazing. I can feel the affection of the local people when they gave us those ingredients. Drinking these cocktails, I feel like there is a taste of love. It feels so good.
On his Facebook page with nearly 200,000 followers, he posts about the trip and received positive responses from the community. Quang shared that he's been using more than 10 types of local ingredients. In addition to taking careful notes to document for himself later, he is also willing to share the recipe with the community so everyone can refer to it and make cocktails at home.
Many people think of cocktails as something expensive and difficult to access, and only professional bartenders with special skill can mix them. But that's not true. Everyone can train to make cocktails. This is a dream journey that we try to do every day. If you want to go and explore how beautiful Vietnam is, make a plan and go.
Hanoi has become a haven for creativity since joining UNESCO's Creative Cities Network 4 years ago. It is now one of the leading creative cities in the country, with numerous creative activities and spaces that draw from its rich cultural heritage.
24 hours in Hanoi has recently become a popular trend on TikTok. It refers to an urban touring experience that allows visitors to explore some of Hanoi's most famous attractions. Alongside the cultural heritage sites that have withstood the test of time, there are also many creative spaces for residents and tourists to discover. One such space is the Cultural and Arts Center, located at 22 Hang Vuom Street. This 400-year-old building beautifully combines architectural elements from Vietnam, China, and France.
I used to visit the old quarter for entertainment, but now I'm interested in attending art and cultural events. Being here now, I also want to learn about the history of this place.
It's like a breath of fresh air for younger people. It has both historical exhibits and new creative spaces. Young people love structures like these.
Meanwhile, this area of Hanoi is home to a popular industrial heritage site, Complex 01, formerly a factory in the mid-20th century, now serves as a venue for art exhibitions, music performances, and market fairs. It is not only a creative hub, but also frequently chosen to host charity and volunteer events.
When Hanoi decided to promote cultural activities, private agencies were given more legal support to experiment with new models. It's a game changer.
As traditional as it may be, Hanoi has attracted young creative artists from across the country. Numerous projects have been launched to diversify the city's cultural identity. To further support these efforts, Hanoi has implemented various policies to help creative spaces flourish.
Since Hanoi joined the Creative Cities networks, our museum and exhibits have become more accessible to the public. It's piqued everyone's interest and helped us contribute our heritage to the city's creative network.
The Hanoi Creative Design Festival recently concluded with applause, successfully exposing young generations to the nation's proud history. Experts believe that the uniqueness of Hanoi's creativity stems from the fusion of old heritages and new generation creations in the same space. Promoting creative spaces is considered one of the most effective solutions for developing the country's cultural industry.
Coming up next in our world news. Rescue efforts ramp up as earthquake claims at least 110 lives. And Thailand takes measures to eliminate low-quality goods. Moving on to our world news. At least 116 people have died and hundreds were injured after a midnight earthquake struck China's northwest province of Gansu and neighboring Qinghai province. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for comprehensive search and rescue efforts to ensure the safety of people and their property. To aid the affected areas in both provinces, thousands of cotton tents, tens of thousands of cotton coats and kilts, and other disaster relief supplies have been sent. In Gansu province, 33 33 ambulances and a team of 173 medical staff have been mobilized, while Qinghai province has mobilized 68 ambulances and over 40 experts. The National Health Commission of China has dispatched a team of medical experts to the affected areas and coordinated with emergency medical teams from other regions, including Sichuan, Shanxi, and Ningxia. The earthquake has caused destruction to houses, roads, and other infrastructure, as well as disruptions to water supply, electricity, transportation, and communications. Thailand will step up measures to remove poor quality goods from the market in order to ensure customer safety. The Thai Ministry of Industry has stated that controlled products related to public health must adhere to quality standards throughout the entire production and consumption process. As a result, the ministry has authorized the Thai Industrial Standards Institute to implement 8 measures targeting both traditional and online markets to eliminate low-quality products. Additionally, all products sold on online platforms will be subject to monitoring. Currently, the Industrial Standards Institute has requested online commercial platforms such as Shopee, Lazada, and TikTok to engage in constructive discussions regarding safety-related products, particularly household electrical appliances. Sellers are also instructed to inform the Institute about whether their products are under supervision or eligible for advertisements. According to the European Commission, the European Union adopted the 12th package of sanctions against Russia on Monday. The package focuses on imposing a ban on import of diamonds of Russian origin, as well as additional import and export bans on Russia. Starting on January 1st, 2024, there will be a ban on direct non-industrial diamond purchases from Russia. Additionally, the package includes the addition of 140 individuals and entities to the list of those subject to asset freezes. This includes actors in the Russian military, defense industry, IT sector, and private military companies. On the same day, the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs promised to respond to the latest sanction against the country. The Danish ensemble Between Music takes the phrase dive into the performance quite literally. This Danish duo of musicians and composers have embarked on a novel type of performance where they sing and play instruments while submerged in water without the use of any breathing equipment. Join us as we explore the unique concept of recording and performing inside a fully transparent glass tank.
Singer Nana Beck is rehearsing for a performance with her band, Between Music. Each band member can stay underwater for up to 1.5 minutes before resurfacing to breathe. They have collaborated with deep-sea divers, instrument makers, and scientists to conduct numerous experiments and create completely new, highly specialized underwater instruments.
When you sing underwater, you can't breathe out because you need to sing through a little air bubble. Because if you put all the air bubbles out, then it will just be very noisy in the underwater mics. So you just need to push out a little air bubble to make a little noise, and then you have to suck it in again, and you can sing like this.
Some of Between Music's instruments are custom-made for underwater conditions. Nana Beck is the only artist in the world who plays rotocorda, an instrument that loses part of its rich and full sound when played on land.
Rented a swimming pool, and then we tested some gongs and a violin, and it was so surprising for us that the violin actually worked because it's a tiny little instrument. But the reason why it worked is that you have a constant pressure, constant move on the string. So it could have these tiny little sounds, and actually the violin sounds very much like an old recording because it has this middle range sounds to it underwater.
In 2020, Between Music performed music in the ocean for the first time as a tribute to refugees who drowned in the Mediterranean Sea. In their latest video, the group submerged a glass tank and performed entirely underwater, blending in with the sea's inhabitants.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.